So guys, back to the office desk. What I've done is I've cut some skirts for the ends, and then the legs, of course, you've seen. The legs are still a little bit long. I cut them oversized. I'll make them shorter a little bit later. My plan is now to just first make a frame that mimics that one there. In other words, the two legs, the skirt there, and the skirt on top there. And this part's gonna go up there. So my plan is now to quickly make this frame first, and then I'll cut these to final size according to what I've got in the top. I'm going to assemble this whole thing with pocket holes. It's a more modern way of fixing, and my main problem is I don't want to go and chop there on the ends in the box that's already built. Cut the mortises there, because that thing is already very old. The wood is very dry and it's a bit flimsy, so I don't want to make it weaker than that it is. And then of course I'm lazy, so pocket holes everywhere. Let me get this frame done first, and then I'll show you from there. So guys, you've seen me drill the pocket holes, and what I'm doing now is I'm just using an 8mm setup block. This is just 3D printed, and it's amazing how accurate they are actually. So I just created a little reveal there to copy the reveals on the existing base. So 8mm in, I've put the clamps in glue, and then I screw them with a coarse 32mm screw. Coarse because we got softer wood. Let me screw them. So that's the first part of our frame. A quick job we have to do this week quickly for Nicolene. We have to cut 2 planks. And the board sizes must be something like 385 by 235. And I'm quickly going to cut it out of this old raised panels. It's oak, so it's quite stable. Long grain, no knots. And we're just going to cut the shape out of it and give it a nice router. And then I'm going to stain it with something like Rubio smoked oak or something to give it an antique look. I'm using this because I have it. And I would like to get rid of a bunch of wood that's overflowing in my workshop. So let me quickly cut these edges off on the table saw and show you how we do this. So guys, I did a few test pieces. This is just Rubio smoked oak alone, and it's too light. The customer wants it a little bit darker to look like an antique oak. So what I've done is I've put some oak stain on first, and then the Rubio smoked oak over that. And that's what we ended up with. So I don't think it came too bad. I hope the customer will be happy. So that's the Rubio smoked oak. And that's then the medium oak stain I used before I've put the Rubio on. Another job done. So guys, the 2 axe heads came. The customer brought them to me yesterday morning. And I quickly fitted them last night. As you can see, I still got a little bit of finishing to do on both of them to make that look nice. And then we can finish the handles. I also went and put the boards, that's blackwood, through the plane. I took off quite a lot, so I'm going to leave them tonight to acclimate and see if they're going to twist and turn. We'll continue with that then tomorrow and with this. For tonight, this is the project. Or I'm going to start with this. I planed these 3 boards all the same thickness, or 3 pieces. And this is going to be 2 trophies. I'm making one and my friend Dolph is making one. So it's half and half a competition. The bottom block here, the big one, the leg it's going to stand on, it's going to be the darker wood, which is American walnut. The top one there is going to be a lighter wood, which is the ash. It's there. And then the 2 sides, this 2 and those 2, is going to be this red one. I think it's teak, I'm not sure. I think it's Rhodesian teak. But let me get this started. Cut the templates out and see how far we can get to this. So guys, I quickly rough cut them. All I've done is I've glued the templates on the back with some paper glue. I'll take that off later. I cut them out, rough sawn them on the bandsaw. And then I sanded on the disc sander all my edges. And then the insider radius, I sanded on the bobbin sander. So that's the basics of it. My plan now is to keep the gaps on the separations. Is I want to put 2 rods in there. Dolph, I know, is putting a piece of aluminium in there, flat bar or something. But I would like to put 2 rods in there, in each. So I'm going to need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 short pieces of rod. And I found this 5mm piece of rod in my scrap bin. And I quickly polished it with some Scotch-Brite on the drill. And came out nice, and I think that's going to work. I'm quickly going to do a test piece. Cut 25mm pieces. Drill the holes in there and see if this plan is going to work. So guys, I've marked all of them where I need the spots. And I've drilled all of them. I just want to show you what I've done. I basically use one of the other blocks to just keep it horizontal to the drill bit. Put a marker on that shows me 10mm, and then I just drill the hole. And all of them is now 10 millimeters deep. Exactly. So they are all now drilled. Now I must get this paper off. So guys, don't be a yobbo like me. I just tried to pull it off and that's what happens. Take the heat gun, just warm it up a little bit, not too much. And it actually works a charm. To then pull off the paper. I hope this works. Comes off one piece. This one I'll have to sand off. So what I've also done, I've cut all my little pins, exactly 25 millimeters long. I've then put it in my cordless drill and just rounded over the little ends so that there's no burr or anything for when I put in the hole. What I've also done is, these measure exactly 3.7 millimeters. So I've drilled all my holes 4 millimeters. So that when I put them, I've got a little bit of leeway to line up and move once everything gets glued together. So I think that's going to help a lot. Guys, that's now all the parts sanded and ready for varnish. Now my friend Dolph went with a shellac finish and he mixed his own shellac and he also made me some. But I'm going to do the right thing and be my lazy self and use polyurethane because I'm lazy. And I quite like the gloss of polyurethane. So that's my solution to this little problem. We will definitely save the shellac for a different project. I'm in quite a rush with this project. This has to be finished by Thursday, I think, and I still have to laser some logos, school logos or something on it. So I don't have much time. My friend Dolph is a very good guy and his is almost done. He's just together everything. I'm a bit behind because I'm always busy with something else. So that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. So guys, before I could continue with the rest of the assembly, I first had to sand this side to make it easier later. I don't want to sit on my knees and sickle to sand this. It's a mission to sand this. I don't know if the previous people used a lot of oil on this, but this is what happened. It really goes through sandpaper like mad. In the end, the tip I can give you that works quite well is acetone with a coarse Scotch-Brite pad. First I scrubbed the whole thing with the acetone and Scotch-Brite to get rid of the most of the oil, and then I went and sanded it. So it's all rough sanded now at the moment. I've only sanded up to a 120, so I still have to go up to a 220 still. But at least it's clean and the worst of the work is done. And then also the little corners I then done with a combination of different scrapers. That looks like this. That's just my scrapers. And I just scraped the corners just to get all the paint off inside there. And it worked quite a charm. So as you can see, I've assembled the rest now to the box. And I've done it all with pocket holes. And yes, there's a lot of guys that's going to tell me, yes, pocket holes is not so nice. I like the modern way of woodworking. And yes, I've got a bunch of plugs to fill now. I've got a plug cutter. And I will cut a bunch of plugs and fill this. And you'll never know they were there. So the whole thing is assembled. It's nice and strong. It's solid. And this is about as far as I'm going to get with this for this week. Next week, I think the top is priority. And then, of course, if I can get to it, the drawers, it's going to go in here. I need to redo the drawer runners as well. They are very flimsy and useless. So I'm going to extend them quite a bit, the drawer runners, just to make it a little bit better. But that's for next week. So guys, this is all for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please guys, remember to subscribe. And I don't know if you noticed that I've hit 1,000 subscribers. That's quite a big milestone for me. And now I need hours of views. So please guys, tell your mothers, your grandmothers, everybody, watch the videos. Help me to get the views so that you can make this channel better. Thanks guys. See you next week.